Okay, today I am sitting here with
Vanessa.
Vanessa. How are you doing today, Vanessa?
I'm doing really good today.
All right, that's good. That's good. Now, Vanessa, just explain a little bit to the camera what we're going to be talking about today. What I just approached you for?
We are going to be talking about feet.
Yes, these very beautiful feet that she, for some reason, and I don't know why, just feels self-conscious about. But we're going to get into that later. But for right now, I want to ask you, did you honestly think you was going to be doing something like this today?
No, we didn't even have plans to come to this park. It was very last minute.
Very last minute. But now that it's happening, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling a little nervous.
A little nervous. Okay. Now, my first question is, how do you feel about the topic of feet, and overcoming anxieties? How do you feel about that?
I've always been kind of insecure about my feet. I don't really like showing them too much.
Okay.
As I got older, I don't care.
Okay.
But right now, I'm only showing one foot because my pedicure looking real rough on the other foot.
Okay. And now, how do you feel about your own feet? I think I kind of already got the answer before we got started, but for the camera, just let everybody know how you feel about your own feet.
I don't think they're beautiful, but they're okay. I'm gonna stick beside them. They mine.
Okay. All right. Now, do you go to a nail salon or do you pedicure yourself?
No, I go to a salon to get them done.
Okay. And from what I can see, your favorite is white?
Yes.
Is that
white?
Am I guessing right? Okay, white. Now, do you get any compliments on your feet on a day-to-day basis?
No, never.
Nah.
I've never got a compliment on my feet.
That's odd to me, based on what I'm seeing. But okay, well, now let's just say, hypothetically speaking, a man were to pass you by on the street and you had on some open-toed shoes and he just happened to look at your feet and say, "Hey ma'am, I think you have some really pretty feet." How would you feel in that moment?
I feel like he messing with me.
Just messing with you. You think that he's that bold to just give you a compliment just to mess with you? Something as far out as feet, just to mess with you?
Yeah, I would feel like that, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Well, I can tell you from experience, me being a guy who likes feet myself, if he's complimenting you on your feet, he means it. He's not. I mean, we don't take that lightly. You know, when we give a woman a compliment about feet, they have pretty feet. So.
Yeah.
But now, where did that come from? This feeling of just feeling like everybody just complimenting you, but not really meaning what they say. Where'd that come from?
I don't know. That's just not what what I think pretty feet look like.
Okay. Well, I'm really sorry you feel that way, because one thing about guys who like feet, we kind of don't like that it's so stigmatized like that, because it does kind of make it harder for us as well. I'm including myself in that as well. Mm-hmm. If the woman doesn't like her feet, that's also a factor that can contribute to things not getting off the ground, as far as a man and woman relationship.
Yeah.
However you want to describe it. But now my next question is, how would you feel about a guy who wanted to give you foot massages and rub your feet, kiss your feet, smell them and lick them?
Oh, I'll let him.
Oh, all that. Okay.
Yeah. All of the above. Okay.
That's actually kind of odd that you say that, being that you're so, you just feel like your feet are not pretty.
I would feel insecure and that way if it was just random person. If it was somebody I was in a relationship with, they wanted to do that, then yes.
Yeah, but the fact that you're just open, I just find it odd that, the fact that, you say you feel like your feet are not pretty, but, you would accept it. That's something that actually is commendable, to be honest with you. A lot of times it takes a woman leaps to kind of get to that point in her life, having a self-conscious feeling about her feet and then allowing a man to go that far.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now, my next question is, let's say a guy had an interest in you, he liked your feet, and that's the reason why he came up to you to talk to you, is because he saw your feet. what do you think would be like the best approach or the best opening line that he could use as it pertains to him liking your feet?
I don't know. I guess the compliment, like how you said, like if a guy complimented on my feet, yeah, I guess that would be it. I don't know if I would like, he's not interested in me any other way, just my feet. I'd be kind of confused, I guess, too.
Okay, but how do you know that's just not like one part about you that he likes amongst many
Because
other things?
if he just approached me about my feet, I'd be like, okay, like.
Well, we all have our favorite things, you
Yeah.
know, like that doesn't mean like, you know, like people think that just because I like feet, then that's all I like. Like
Yeah.
I appreciate the entire female anatomy, like,
Yeah.
you know, so like that, and that's kind of the difference between guys who have foot fetishes and guys who just have an attraction to feet.
Okay.
Like, I'll give you an example. Like, let's just say, you know, we're about to be intimate, have sex, and pretty much when it comes down to it, you take off all your clothes. Like, if you a clear way to know if a guy has a foot fetish, if let's say you got completely naked but you had on some knee-high socks, he would just keep begging you to take them off, like, because he has to have feet present.
Yeah.
That would be considered a foot fetish. Like,
Okay, gotcha.
you know, like that's an example of a guy who, you know, he has a foot fetish because he can't do without it, you know. So that's a good way to know or find out, you know. But if he's cool, like doing the do with your socks on, then hey, you know, not necessarily meaning that, okay, I don't have to have feet right now, but you know, I just like feet. So there's a fine line, like I said before, but there's a difference.
Yeah.
So yeah. So ultimately you would say like just a compliment, a simple compliment, like even though you say you wouldn't believe him at first, like just like he would have to like do like a good like 5-minute conversation.
I think so.
To kind of get
like,
you to understand that, you know, you are beautiful.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I would need that.
Okay. All right. Well, let's focus on these feet. And can you scrunch your toes down? And then like scrunch them again. All right. So I just licked your feet, like, well, not licked your feet, but smelt them. How do you feel about that whole experience? Like how did that make you feel?
I don't know, like my feet were beautiful.
Like your feet were beautiful. Okay. So from what I'm gathering, it seems like you have more of an issue of like extreme self-consciousness.
Maybe.
Like, you know, it's just, and it kind of sucks because as humans, like we all want to feel like appreciated, like people think we're attractive, like even as a man, like I can tell you, like I haven't been called handsome in like 3 years, but you know, but you know, it's just one of those things where we just have to like take the compliments as we go and just like whatever so because some people, they don't get them as often as other people, so when we get them, we have to like take them and just run with them, like,
yeah, that's what I just
you know, and just
thank you.
You know, because, you know, just to let us know, just to let people know, hey, this is something that, you know, I shouldn't be worried about, or I can just go through my life not worried about something like this, because I got that reassurance, and like, but not compare myself to the next person at the same time, because when you compare yourself to the next person and the compliments that they get, you know, that's where you fall short, you know. So that's also a thing where you have to kind of like just like know that I look good, every part about me looks good. And so you didn't feel shy at all in that moment of me just smelling your feet?
No, because you asked me. You asked me nicely.
All right, well, my next question, last exercise, can I lick them?
No, oh no.
No, okay, now.
It's a little too personal.
Okay, so why, like, just the fact that I'm like, what you say it's too personal, like, well, what do you think would be like the worst that can happen?
Just extreme uncomfortableness.
Okay, so you felt completely comfortable with everything else, but
Yeah.
why stop there?
Because I don't bodily fluids on my body.
Okay.
Just, no.
All right. Well, my final question to before I close out the interview is, in the day and age of Instagram and OnlyFans, you know what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how old are you?
32.
Okay.
33.
Okay. Well, then you know about. You young enough to know about these apps.
You should ask that before the interview.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're young enough.
Yeah.
You're young enough to know about because I'm 31,
Oh.
and I know about these apps. Now, in the day and age, you have these apps, Instagram, OnlyFans, where women are selling feet pics and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
All over the place, and just the fact that we have the internet, and the internet is just in itself this big old portal that you can just log in, type something in, and just look up anything you want. Like, with all that going on, and just everything being so much more out there because of the internet, why do you believe that still in today, 2021, that men liking feet is still seen as strange by society?
I don't think it's strange that men like feet. I think that it's just like you don't hear about it often.
Okay. You just don't. Okay, so basically what you're saying is, even today, you feel like, because you knew enough to know that there are foot models out there doing their thing on these apps. So I see, the place that I'm coming from is like the fact that we have these apps, and
I
we
think
have
people are more embarrassed of it. That's why they're embarrassed to come out and say like they have a foot fetish or they have a foot attraction. So you don't hear about it because people are not really saying it out loud.
So, but you don't think that these guys making these foot models popular is enough to get people to see, or not?
I've just never experienced somebody that likes feet like that.
Interesting. Well, that's just the place that I'm coming from. I would assume that because it's more out there.
Yeah, but it's almost like it's secret. Like nobody's really coming out and saying like, "Oh my God, I really love feet." Like they're subscribing to things or.
So overall,
being quiet about it.
Okay, now overall, what you're saying is like, even though we have these apps and everything, these guys are not out in public, like just being public with it. They're still kind of hiding behind these apps. Is what you're saying. Okay, well, that's a good answer. I can take that. Now, to close out the interview, what did you think about this entire interview from start to finish?
Very interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else aside from that?
No, I mean, I guess I learned the difference between foot attraction and foot fetish.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. You learned something. Like,
learn something
the goal,
every day.
like I said, like the goal is like, if we can't get the woman to completely overcome all anxieties, at least she learned something and got some insight. So whatever we can get is good, because again, like these guys, like the more we learn about each other, like the better off we'll be. Like, so the more aware women become, like the happier us guys who like feet will become. Like, so it's good. Like, at least you learned something. You got something out of it.
Yeah.
And what did you think about on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate my conversation skills during the interview?
I don't know. You kept it going. I don't know, maybe 7 or 8.
Okay. All right. Now, did you notice any stuttering, stumbling over words, or long pauses in the middle of a sentence?
A little bit.
Okay.
Only whenever you said that you licked my feet.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. I appreciate your honesty, because I don't get people like giving me that criticism like when I ask them. So I appreciate you being honest, because I feel like people just say, "Oh no, you did fine," but they don't really mean it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you like paying attention to that and pointing it out, because a side reason for me doing these interviews is to help my speech.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of a speech impediment. Okay. And what did you think about my approach when I came up to you and asked you to do this?
It was fine.
Yeah, because I approached both you and your friend. Okay. And my last question is, do you have any suggestions or critiques on how I can better my approach in the future?
I would start out by saying you have like a, well, you did say you had a YouTube channel or whatever, but I would start out with that instead of like, hey, I want to interview y'all.
Okay.
You know? Like,
Okay.
hey, I have a YouTube channel that I would like, you know, blah, 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 whatever.
Okay. With that being said, we can wrap up the interview. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You have an awesome day.
Thank you, too.
All right.